Yeah, hi there, and I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass the TOEFL IBT. And you wrote a pretty good essay. I just read it. It didn't take me very long at all. It was very organized. In fact, I gave you 4.0 out of 5, 25 points out of 30. All right, let's take a look at it. So, if you go back to the rubrics, I think you have some frequent or noticeable minor language errors, but these errors do not result in anything more than an occasional lapse of clarity or in connection of ideas. So there's really not a lot of problems with the essay, which is why I scored it so high. All right, let's go to the introduction. So the reading passage discusses the keys to pursue in this area. I would probably change this. The keys for profitable businesses or successful businesses, the same thing, which consists of arranging meetings for employees, reading the whole details, reports, or training documents, I would say having attend all meetings, encouraging them to read the whole details of reports or training documents. Be careful of your poor or less ending. You probably don't use this in your own language, but you want to use the poor or less in English. And assigning writing reports. It's not just assigning writing reports. You're not getting it. It's encouraging the employees to bypass or skip the steps of the writing process. Directing. We will say here, directing employees Now I think we have it. So the reading passage discusses the keys for profitable businesses. What if we did this? Check this out. You ever use this, the colon? You can do something like this. So then we have having, encouraging, directing. So having employees attend all meetings, encouraging them to read the whole details, reports, or training documents, and directing, maybe say, these workers, not using exactly the same words or pronouns every time, and directing these workers to skip the steps of the writing process. However, from the listening, the speaker disagrees with the reading passage and provides the different reasons for that. Mostly here, you have the idea, you know what you're trying to do, so you've expressed the most important ideas from the reading passage, and then you show how the lecture is disagreeing with those points. All right, let's take a look at your second paragraph. You say, first of all, from the reading passage, one of the keys to success for success. Let's do this. So we're going to get rid of that and say it like this. So one of the keys for business success is the meeting. The reading claims that the organization Organization, company is kind of the same thing, right? I'm going to change this slightly. The reading claims that companies should gather staff, and staff is one of those kind of collective nouns, should gather staff to discuss. You're having a word order issue here. You want to say to discuss issues, or company issues, not issues company. But because we said companies in the beginning, no need to say it here. So should gather staff to discuss issues including maybe one word, updates to the recent technology, which is believed which can help improve their job, maybe performance, maybe. I'm going to put this voice marker in here too because we want to make sure we know where it's coming from. Clearly, all employees have to attend all meetings according to the reading passage. So again, it's those S endings you got to watch out. You don't like to put S's on your nouns, it looks like. So all employees have to attend all meetings according to the reading passage because brainstorming as much as possible will make the just how about will be, I'm going to just say will be productive. Conversely, the listening passage argues that meetings too much, I'm going to say too many. We want to say many with meetings because meetings, we're using it as a count noun there. And you have word order issues too. So the listening part argues that too many meetings waste valuable time. I'm going to say here 60 to 90 minutes. Will waste the working time and will not bring up the main point of the solutions in the meeting. Moreover, and good use of the semicolon here, by the way. So moreover, the concise meeting you might say something like this. Moreover, a concise meeting, however, is more effective to discuss any issues and we might say possible solutions. The speaker suggests that, let's make this plural, that companies should make That's good. I think we have that. All right. We'll read everything one more time in just a minute, but overall you understand exactly what. Okay, in your next paragraph, you say next step. I'm going to say the next step to success in business from the reading passage is pushing the employees to read training materials and reports in all details which can help them to improve their jobs. The employees are supposed to remember the important main ideas and scope maybe of the details you might say even with supplementary reading materials which are provided by the company. I don't think we need a comma in here. So the employees are supposed to remember the important main ideas and the scope of the details even with supplementary reading materials which are provided by the company. That's good. I think you have it. On the other hand, the speaker believes that reading entire documents is not necessary. How about this? What if we combine both sentences and turn the second one into a noun clause? You can do that. So the speaker believes that reading entire documents is not necessary and that employees should understand the essential ideas instead of remembering all details. Finally, the author claims that writing reports should be assigned to the employees and they should not create their paper by writing steps as in college, and it's a better way to write the report of the paper in one time instead of following the steps, which makes them waste time. Alright, now we want to do here, let's double check here about the writing report should be assigned to the employees, that idea. Let's go to the listening passage for a minute. The final suggestion that is important in helping you and other employees to become more efficient is to follow the steps in the writing process. When some people sit down to write a long memo, they insist on perfecting each sentence before moving on to the next one. They want to complete all the stages. A better approach separates the main steps in the writing process. Go back to what you said here. Let's say, okay, we have wait a minute, one more thing. Too many employees, when they are assigned to write a report or proposal, pretend like they're still in college. They use all the required stages. They should not separate them. Okay, I think I have this. It's not saying that they should assign employees writing reports, right? So we have to change this. So the author claims that when employees are asked to write reports, it's not saying that it has to happen. So that idea I had to change a little bit. So the author claims that when employees are asked to write reports, put a comma here, they should not create the paper by It's a better way to write the report or paper one time instead of following the steps, which makes them waste time. Good. Now, believe it or not, with the word make, I think make and help, when we use those kinds of words, we need to use the base form here, so it makes them waste. We're kind of using it as an infinitive, but then we get rid of the preposition there. So we just say what makes them waste time. In contrast, speaker counters this point by saying that if the employees make their writing work without how about adhering to the writing they will not complete their projects on time, not in time. Speaker says that writing, I'm going to change this to a noun person. So the speaker says that writers should follow these steps. Compose. How about this, make these plural? Should follow these steps, compose outlines, make rough drafts, and go back to fill in the details. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So I gave you 4.0 out of 5, right? It's still, what you have is a good paper. You noticed I didn't have to make a lot of changes to your writing, but I did make some, right? So I think that for the TOEFL purposes, you're probably looking at about 25 points out of 30. For the purposes of our class, I don't know, let's see what this grade would have. I'm going to give you 100% for completing this project, but if this were the midterm exam, let's take a look at what grade you would get. So the midterm exam here, I gave you 4. I'd put you about 88%, so you're between about 88 and 90 on this. So I'm going to say you're a pretty strong writer. Okay, you want to read it one more time? Let's just double check one more time and make... All right, let's take a look at the paragraphs one more time. So the reading passage discusses the keys for profitable businesses. You could have said they're successful businesses. Having employees attend all meetings, encouraging them to read the whole details, reports, or training documents, and directing these workers to skip the steps of the writing process. However, from the listening, the speaker disagrees with the reading passage and provides different reasons for that. First of all, from the reading passage, one of the keys for business success is, I'm going to say, is meetings. The reading claims that companies should gather staff to discuss issues, including updates to the recent technology, which can improve their job performance. Clearly, all employees have to attend all meetings according to the reading passage, because brainstorming as much as possible will be productive. Conversely, the listening part argues that too many meetings will waste valuable time, because meetings longer than 60 to 90 minutes will waste the working time and will not bring up the main points of the solution in the meetings. Put an S here. Moreover, a concise meeting, however, is more effective to discuss any issues and possible solutions. The speaker suggests that companies should make the meetings easier by allowing for conference meetings via technology such as phone or email. The next step to success in business from the reading passage is pushing the employees to read training materials and reports in all details, which can help them to improve their jobs. The employees are supposed to remember the important main ideas and the scope of the details, even with supplementary reading materials which are provided by the company. What if we just get rid of which are? We could do that. Maybe put a comma here. Even with supplementary reading materials provided from the company. On the other hand, the speaker believes that reading entire documents is not necessary and that employees should understand the essential ideas instead of remembering all details. Finally, the author claims that when employees are asked to write reports, they should not create their paper by following the steps of the writing process as in college, and it is a better way to write the report of the paper at one time instead of following the steps, which makes them waste time. In contrast, the speaker counters this point by saying that if the employees make their writing without adhering to the stages of the writing process, they will not complete their projects on time. The speaker says that writers should follow these steps, compose outlines, make rough drafts, and go back and fill in the details. Maybe I have to change this. They should follow these steps by. Now changes everything to ing. How should they follow the steps? I'm using an adverbial prepositional phrase here. How do they follow the steps? By composing outlines, by making rough drafts, by going back to fill in the details. So because I use by here, I don't have to use it every time. It's kind of implied the second and the third time. So they can follow these steps by composing outlines, making rough drafts, and going back to fill in the details. All right, let's take a look at my website here, and what do we know about you? I know, based on what I just read, you're actually a strong writer. I'm guessing you're the strongest writer in this class. I've read already 3 essays. I have 2 more to read, and so far you're way above everyone else. You're at level. A lot of the students who completed the project here in this class, they are below level, way below level. You're right at level for level 6, which is a good thing, right? Okay, now let's take a look at the grammar area though. There's probably maybe just a few things that you can do that will be able to improve your writing, so I'm going to go over these right now. This one, lesson number 15, word order, believe it or not. So sometimes you're not sure about exactly how to order words and you have some trouble with word order. So lesson 15 in grammar, I'd like you to review that. Lesson 16, count and non-count nouns and understanding when to use the plural S ending. I think that's a good lesson for you right now based on your weaknesses. And I think that's about it. There might be, no, one more. Lesson 19, passive verbs. You can check that one. Lesson 21, prepositions. In, on, at. Sometimes you're not sure which one works better. So lesson 21 there. And maybe lesson 27, being more concise. And I wish I could have you do more practice here, but those are really the main areas I think you can improve on in terms of your language use, but in terms of organization, accuracy, completeness of content, you're pretty good. You understand how to read and listen to something, take notes, and then write a response to that. So you have done a very good job with that. All right, so thank you for completing this integrated writing practice test. I hope that this video correction of your essay has given you some ideas on what you can do to further improve your writing.